स्वाध्याय टीवी। डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaskar friends, I Dr. Himanshu Patel welcomes you from the Chaitanya studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. We are in lecture series on mobile application development in Android. In last session we have learned date and time picker control, how to display date picker dialog and how to display time picker dialog. So, we learn how to display this picker control as a control and dialog, and we also learn how to handle its set functionality in case of dialog using on date set listener and in case of time dialog using on time set listener. We have also learned how to create different types of dialog like time picker dialog and date picker dialog inside on create dialog method, and we display this dialog using show dialog method. Today we are going to learn menu. By default, Android provides facility for option menu. Now, you can create different types of menu items inside this option menu and handle its click event. Now, you can easily create menu by inflating an XML file which is called menu resource into the menu via menu inflator class. Handle these click event in menu is via either on option item selected or on context item selected. Now, why these two methods are there? Because Android provides two types of menu, option menu and context menu. In option menu displays information related to current activity, and you can activate these menu by pressing menu on your phone. Your menu may contain sub menu also. Now, these sub menu can be displayed as a pop up when you press these sub menus. So, sub menus are menus within menu. Another option you have is a context menu. As its name suggests, context menu can be related to particular control and can be activated by pressing tap long on that control. For example, we can associate context menu with button, and when user press this button for long time, this context menu associated with button is activated. Today we are going to write down two programs, and in these program we are creating menu, but in menu you can provide different types of option like title. Title is the name of menu text, you can say is called title. Then you can specify icon, but normally we do not use icon inside menu. Then you can decide order of menu item also, but it is recommended that you place your menu item in order, so that you need not to provide this order of menu items. It is only required when your order of writing menu item in menu resource is different and display this menu item is different. Then you can also enable or disable your menu. If menu item is enabled or menu is enabled, then you can have click event generated, otherwise it is not generated. You can make menu visible or invisible. You can also specify shortcut for your menu. For example, suppose I have menu item starts with letter R, then I can assign shortcut R for that menu item, so that whenever this R is pressed, menu item action will be taken place. So, today we are going to write down two programs. In first program, we write down application that will change background color of the screen based on selected color option from the menu. In menu, we display different colors, and by selecting on these color, we can change background of our screen. In second program, we implement same functionality, but instead of using option menu, we will use context menu associated with button. So, in second program we use same functionality or same menu is activated by tapping long on your button, and that from that menu you can change color of your button to which this menu is associated. So, let us look at the screen of our first program. You can see on the screen, whenever user press menu button of phone, the menu displayed below will be appear on screen. Here white is a disabled, so you cannot have any click event take place on this white menu, but gray is a normal menu item, black is also menu item which is ordinary, but here cool color is a sub menu. So, whenever user press cool color, you can see on the second or middle of the screen that these pop-up will appear and it shows cool colors like blue, green and purple, and whenever user press blue, you can see on the third screen color is changed to blue. Likewise, warm color is also sub menu. So, here it displays three options: orange, red and yellow. So, whenever user press orange, the background is changed to orange, red, if red is pressed, background is changed to red. So, in this example we cover how to create menu in menu resource, how to display ordinary menu items, how to specify sub menus and how to assign shortcut to these menus. In second program we write down same functionality, but now it is a context menu. For example, you in first screen you can see this button with caption tap and hold for menu options. So, whenever user press long for on this button, that menu will appear on the screen that you can see on the second screen. Here white, gray, black, cool colors and warm colors is a context menu associated with this button, and whenever some of the sub menu is clicked, you can see on the screen when cool colors is placed, it shows whatever options available there in sub menu, and pressing on these will change the color of button. Here in option menu we change the color of screen. So, in this case we change the color of our button. So, these two program will demonstrate in detail how to use menu resource and how to handle menu click events. So, let us start with writing first program. Here on the screen you can see welcome screen of Android Studio. So, we always select start a new Android Studio project, then we create menu color demo is the name of our application, and then we press next. Here we specify minimum SDK and we are going to develop application for phone and tablet, then we press next. Here we select blank activity and then press next. Here we change our activity name to menu activity and then press finish. Now, it will create one project with specification provided by us. Now, remember by default one menu resource is always provided inside menu.xml, and it also automatically inflate these menu using menu inflator that we see inside code. So, here on the screen you can see Android Studio is creating project menu color demo. So, here is a default screen. I changing API level to 8, minimize this window, and here is our XML file or interface file opening or rendering. So, here we need not to put any control on our interface because we are just changing color of our layout, which is relative layout. So, we need not to put any control except one button with which we associate same menu as a context menu. So, here I am just dragging one button on our screen for handling context menu, and option menu is associated with our screen. So, here I am dragging one button control over I make it width match to parent and set its text to tap long, means click for long time for menu options, and give this button name as a btn context. Now, we go to menu activity.java file, which is created by Android. Here by default on create option menu method is implemented by activity file. Here it shows that get menu inflator dot inflate and then the name of menu that we want to inflate. So, these menu.xml file is already created inside this menu, and here we can see menu underscore menu.xml file. By default there is only one option there with name action settings. So, Android automatically create menu with single option settings and open these inside on create option menu using menu inflator. So, we need not to write down this code, we just want to add menu items inside this menu underscore menu.xml file. You need not to do anything, but just add item inside this menu underscore menu.xml file. So, I am just deleting these or removing this item. So, we also need to remove it from these. So, I removing this code inside on option item selected, and add new item inside these. So, if you remember, we want to create these menus. So, first menu item is white, which is not enabled, then gray, then black, and then two sub menu. So, I am just creating first three menu items white, gray and black inside this. So, here I write down item, give this ID white, then we specify order in category. This is optional, but this should be disabled. So, I write down enabled false. So, this menu is not enabled, and then we can specify shortcut. So, alphabetic shortcut. So, here for white we can write down W. We have to provide title also. So, here I write down white. So, here we created one menu item with 4 options: ID, which is white, enabled, which is false, alphabetic shortcut, which is W, and its title or text is a white. So, we just copy these item. So, here we change ID to, because our second is a gray. So, I change this ID to gray. Enabled, by default it is enabled. So, no need to write down enabled false. Shortcut to G and title to gray. Now, likewise next is a black. So, I write down black here, no need to set enabled false. So, I removing these, and its shortcuts may be B and title is black. So, our first 3 item is now ready. Here white will be disabled, gray is created, black is created. Now, next 2 item is a sub menu. So, first we create item which is school colors, and then we create sub menu with option blue, green and purple. So, again I go to this and create one item, and its ID is cool, and we set its title to cool colors. Now, inside these items we want to display 3 items. Here you can see 3 items are blue, green and purple. So, we go to these, here we create menu resource and inside these we create item and title is blue, ID is blue, next item is green. So, here I write down title as a green, ID as a green and purple. The order of attribute is unimportant. So, these menu item with cool color is now ready. Next we create warm color group. So, here I am writing item with title warm colors and ID warm, and inside these we create menu with 3 menu items with ID. So, here the list of warm colors which is orange, red and yellow. So, here I write down red and title red. Next item is orange and title is also orange, and lastly we create item yellow and title is given yellow. Remember, you can also specify its enable, disable, false, or you can assign shortcut. Here we assign shortcut to only first 3 items which is white, gray and black, and white is disabled. You can also use these option inside these. So, now our menu is ready. Next we want to handle its click event. So, we go to menu activity.java and here inside on option item selected we will handle its click event. So, here I write down integer ID is equal to item dot get item ID. Here we get whatever menu item is pressed, which may be menu item or it may be sub menu. So, here in item we get item ID. So, we come to know which item is pressed. Here I write down switch case. So, switch on ID. Now, we initially implement first functionality. So, I write down case r dot ID dot white, but white is disabled, but here we just write down white for showing you how to implement click event. So, here I write down r dot id dot white, and inside these we set relative layout color to background. So, here I take reference of relative layout. So, here I declare one relative layout object and take its reference by using find view by ID. Here ID we specify ID for relative layout. So, I write down relative layout 1 and then press this file and again go to activity file. So, now we get ID as a relative layout 1. So, inside these, when white menu item is pressed, we write down or relative layout dot set background color. So, here is a white option. So, here I write down color dot white, which is a inbuilt constant available inside color class, and then we have to write down break statement, and inside these we can write down other option also, for example black and gray. So, here I write down gray, here I write down black. Now, inside cool color we have ID blue. So, here we write down green, and red. Next we write down purple, so here in this case we have no constant available for purple. So, what we can use is one method inside color class, which is parse color. So, I write down color dot parse color, and here I can specify color constant value for these purple color, which is CE70FF. So, how to get this value? So, you can find this value from color palette, and for orange there is no constant associated with orange, but here you can specify is hex string, which is FF9300. So, here we mention all these colors inside these option item selected. So, here I am pressing this save button. Now, our menu will be inflated by this on create option menu. Its click event handled by on option item selected, and based on its ID we will take some action, for example setting different color of background screen. So, next we save this file and run this file. So, here it is asking whether you want to launch this application inside a running emulator. So, I am just clicking this checkbox and press OK. So, here on screen you can see our application is running. Here by pressing this menu we can activate this menu. So, on screen you can see this white is disabled, but when I press this gray, my background is changed to gray, because we have write down code to change background color to gray. Now, I am pressing black. So, you can see our background color is changed to black, but I can set just pressing by G on my keyboard. So, you can see shortcut is also working, and when I press these cool colors, it shows this sub menu with 3 items blue, green and purple. Here when I select blue, it change my background color to blue, and in purple we specify that hash string. So, here if I press this purple, so we need to change this hash string. So, if I press green, it is changed to green, and inside warm color again there are 3 arguments, red, orange and yellow. So, here I am changing red. So, this is how we can handle item click inside this option menu, and we can by default have one option menu available in our application. So, next we see how to use this same menu item to be associated in context menu, and this context menu is associated to a button, and whenever button is pressed for long time we can display same functionality. So, we use same menu for displaying context menu. So, need not to define these menu items once again. We can use same menu for option menu as well as context menu. So, how to do that? Let us do it. So, here we have one button available. Now, we want to attach this menu with as a context menu with this button. So, I go to menu activity file, take reference of this button, and here I declaring button. We can take reference of this button inside on create. Our ID is btn context. Now, here I write down btn dot set on create context menu listener, and here I write down these. So, now I can write down two methods, one to actually create this menu. So, here I write down on create context, on create context menu method, and inside these I assign call same method of get menu inflator. So, I am just copying these, and here I write down same thing and removing these. Remember, return type for on create context menu is void, and return type for on create option menu is boolean. So, here we write down return true, but here we do not write down anything like return true, because its return type is void. Now, these menu with same option is associated with button using set on context menu listener, and next we implement how to handle these menu item select method. So, I write down on context item selected method, and here we write down same code inside on context item selected. So, these two lines should be removed, because our menu ID is same, menu is same. So, no need to define once again, but now instead of this relative layout color we change our button color. So, instead of relative layout we have to just write down btn. So, I am just replacing these relative layout with btn. Here we need to write down break. We forgot to write down this break. So, that is why purple shows orange. So, same thing should be change inside these, and we write down break here and break here. Now we save this file. You can understand we have one relative layout and button, and inside on create we take reference of these two controls and set on create menu context menu listener to these activity and associate with btn. Inside on create context menu we inflate same menu for button, and inside on context item selected we get item which is clicked by user, and we fetch its id, and based on id we set background color of button to specified color inside menu item. And likewise in on create option menu we created option menu, and inside on option item selected we handle menu item. Inside this item we fetch its id, and based on id we can do certain action like changing background color to specified color. So our code is ready. Now we save this file and run this inside our running emulator. So now it shows updated interface, and we have to press this button for long time to activate our context menu. Here same menu is there, so white is disabled, and we can press gray to change button color to gray. Likewise inside cool colors we can change color to purple, and inside warm color we can change color to orange or whatever color you want to specify. So today we have learned how to create different types of menu, how to set menu options in XML menu resource, how to handle menu click event, and how to create three types of menu, namely option menu, sub menu and context menu. I hope you will enjoy this session, and thank you and happy learning.
स्वाध्याय टीवी